Can you hear
I
me?
think my lame.
No, I like it. It's good. I like the squiggly line.
I'm on my call, Katie. Hello, Davies.
How you doing, guy?
Hey, dude. How are you? What are you at?
Oh, no.
Little whiteboard back here.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So who are we talking to today?
Today, we're just going to do an overview. So today, it's going to be all about the leadership and just kind of get feedback from you guys on what you guys want to see. Pick a date for each of you guys to go live. And we got the first couple chosen. I want to get a schedule out by the end of the day so that we can blast it out to all of KWYP Canada and then start sending it out to everyone and sharing who we're going to be hearing from.
Did Sandy ever get back from Thailand or no?
I was talking to him this morning. He said every time he books a flight, they cancel it.
He's gonna have to call the consulate.
Well, he said they booked multiple flights, and every single time they cancel it right afterwards. So,
But that's the thing, right? Like he's gonna have to call for a rescue flight, whatever they're doing. I got friends that work for Sunwing. They've rescued 60,000 passengers.
really?
Yeah.
I hear that Joe's buying everyone's flight.
I got my uncle's there too. Right? He's in not staying in nearly as nice a place as Sandy is. He's staying in hostels in Bangkok right now.
I wouldn't want to be.
And he's 70.
And he's 70.
He's 70. He's a wild man. He's out and out, just a wild man. And he goes on these walkabouts every year. He did South America. He was supposed to be there for 4 weeks. He was there for 4 months. Just missed all of. He left at the beginning of February, and he came back the last weekend of June. And so he's been gone for weeks and weeks right now. That's crazy.
Awesome. Oh, I don't know if he's going to make it back. He may have to just enjoy himself in Thailand. He's actually not overly stressed about it. It's quite funny talking to him. I talked to him last week. He's like, no one even cares around here. And then I talked to him this morning. He's like, cities are empty.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I missed that note.
Just went super quiet.
Oh, we can hear you. You wrote a little message, so we were reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing, Nikki? How's it out there in London?
It's great. Couldn't be better. It's quiet.
I expected nothing less.
Sold a house last night at 11 o'clock. It's fine.
Perfect. See, that's what happens. Everyone just hangs out 11 o'clock, buying houses.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's a crazy world out there right now.
Showings have been really different, right? And I don't know what your brokerages have done, but it's made extremes for us, which is good. I'm thankful for it, for what we're having people sign in order to go through properties, and it just gives us more support to say, look, this is company policy, right? I think that the challenge is every brokerage is doing something different, and we don't have a standard across the board. So that's the biggest challenge, I think, right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's an interesting dichotomy out there, because you're stuck between your social responsibility to not spread the virus and your responsibility to people to not let them go under if they've bought something else and they needed to sell and they sold, and then when they bought their place, selling theirs was going to be easy. Like it's crazy. I'm running the market numbers right now for Hamilton, and we were actually up over March break. We're up 50 homes listed. So we sold over March break last year 220. They did 271 this year over March break. But our transactional volume is down week to week from the week before March break by 50 homes. We sold 230 last week. We sold 275, 175 this week. So our transactional volume is already on its way down. It's at 40% down. It's crazy out there right now. And I don't know how to best advise people other than to say it's on your own discretion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what?
I think, and the challenge.
You can make a case for any position. I mean, I think it's going to be, that's really why we wanted to do these webinars. And today's webinar is just about kind of the introduction of what it's all about. But the idea was like, what are people doing? How are you staying motivated? How are you staying positive? What are you doing to double down on your activities? Because if you don't, you're going to be left behind. And then when the market does turn back, which I think is probably going to be, I personally don't think it's going to be that long, a couple of months, I think that we're going to see a spike in sales. And at that point in time, it's going to be people who are staying active and contacting the database and touching base and being ready. So you can look at it any which way. I was looking at inventory in Hamilton too. I was actually looking at Burlington, Hamilton, St. Catharines, and Welland. And I mean, I only just started it after we talked on the weekend, but I looked at like active listings in each, and they're down a couple. It's not much, but like 1 or 2 listings down in all 4 areas. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think it's a huge opportunity. We talk about a lot of how Keller Williams was born out of a shift, but no one ever really understands what that means. It meant that all of your players that were out there, all of your small brokerages and all that kind of stuff, in 2008 they all folded, and Keller Williams backfilled that entire space. That's going to happen here. If this goes on, if we're talking 3 to 4 months of social distancing, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, we're going to be looking at least 3 to 4 months for people to get back on their feet and start looking at homes in a realistic way, which means that paychecks are at least 6 months out from the time you get to go back to work properly. And you're going to have people that are just going to fold. They're just going to close it out. Like there's an entire office at Royal LePage State in Hamilton right now that's over the age of 65, and they're just going to roll it up, man. Like that, and whoever is out there creating relationships today is going to underwrite the next decade of their career.
Isn't that where Ferroni was?
Yep.
Yeah, well, they're in Burlington now. KW.
Yeah, well,
it's like they lost their top agent, and now they're going into this shifting market, and they're all old.
Yeah, like I mean, at one point when Keller Williams Complete first opened, and Gary left, and Ryan left, and Metcalf left, and all that stuff, their whole top 10 changed. Their whole top 10 producing agents completely shifted. And if they lose Heddle to Remax or to us or to any of the one of the people that are blowing up his phone right now to get him to move, like they're going to shut the doors.
It's opportunity, man. I'm looking forward to it. This probably couldn't affected me in a better way. This whole shift is just like, we ramped up. I pushed hard December, January, got a ton of listings, sold a bunch of listings, got a bunch of buyers, filled the buyer pipeline, looking to scale up the business and add agents. And now we have a shifting market where agents are desperate for help, and we have a bunch of listings and buyers. So
yeah, and one of the things we saw from the market research today as well is that the vast majority of what was sold, of the 160 that were sold, or 175 that were sold in the last 7 days, nearly all of them were under the $600,000 price point. Anything above, it all sat. Like I think there was like 2 sales over $1 million, 5 sales over $750,000, and then 140 sales under 500,000. Like it's crazy. And so in the world that you're working in right now, like where you're doing stuff that needs work, where people are selling on the cheap and all that kind of stuff, like my world's a lot different. I'm counseling all of my people, don't do anything. Because
and buy, put in 20 offers. One of them's going to take a low ball.
Yeah, $800,000, $900,000. Like your house is going to sit. Whereas when you're looking at townhomes in Upper Stony Creek, there's only 6. There's only 6 townhouses for sale in all of Upper Stony Creek, but that's all under the $600,000 price point.
All right, yeah, let's jump into it. I want to get rocking and rolling. It's 8:30, and I just wanted to jump in and thank everyone that's on the call. To the trickle in as well. I don't know if Anna's going to be joining me on video or if she's going to talk with me here, but really looking forward to kind of sharing our idea and our outlook. KWYP presidents have a call every Wednesday morning that Anna and I lead and go through what's working, what's not, and go through some numbers on how we can help our KWYP members grow and prosper through these new times. So we wanted to bring together this opportunity for us as leaders to have one quick call first, spend about a half an hour here, seeing what you guys are looking for, what you guys would like to see, and then almost run like an Ignite program every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a half an hour before lead gen gets rocking and rolling from 8:30 to 9. And I'll be basically going through one-on-one with another leadership position or leadership member to ask what you're doing. So we have a number of questions that we've prepared, and I'll just be going through that list of questions to see what is it that you guys are doing to prepare yourself? What are you doing to prepare your clients? How are you thriving in this market? And then obviously we're going to try and grow our YP chapters as well as grow our own businesses. So I wanted to just you guys can drop chat messages as much as you want, kind of raise your hand. We'll go through questions to see what you guys are looking to get out of this. But the idea of this call is just to really get an idea of what you'd want to see. And if you like the idea of us just kind of hopping in and interviewing one-on-one and doing one-on-one interviews, but really get an idea of what are the top agents, what are the top realtors in KWYP Canada doing, and keep everyone motivated and keep everyone pushing to make sure that they're ready for when this market does turn back around and things change. So does anyone have any questions to start on what the idea here is? Perfect. Easy. So the idea is literally just Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8:30 to 9. And something that I'm doing as well, and we can decide to throw it out there if you guys think it's a good idea as well for YP, is within my team from 9 to 12, we're actually launching a Zoom like this, turning our volume down to like 1 or 2. And then we're all just doing our lead gen while we're on Zoom together. So it's like we're doing the accountability of being in the office and doing lead gen for 9 to 12 in the mornings, except we're doing it on webinars. So I don't know if that's something you guys would find valuable, but we could potentially put that out there for all the YP members in Canada as well, and just rock consistent lead gen together and see who you want to hear, what you want to talk about, and go from there. Is this for everyone YP or just us? So this call right now is just for us to get feedback from each of you guys, to know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about, who you want to see. Do you want to keep it just YP leadership? Do you want me to go out and find top talent from across North America and bring in other individuals, or do you want to keep it just YP related? The idea of the ongoing Monday, Wednesday, Friday is to open it up to all of KWYP Canada. And I'll do something creative and incredible handwriting like I got back here and talk about who I'm talking to, what the idea is, something like that, so there's some kind of conversation. And then I'll just basically be taking questions. I'll put everyone on mute, then I'll take questions and do one-on-one message or one-on-one conversation with the people that you guys decide. So we started off on Wednesday last week talking to the presidents, and on Wednesday, Andre has volunteered to be the first person interviewed, and we're going to talk about database and scripts and what scripts Andre is using, what scripts he's recommending to his team, and what he's doing to make sure he keeps in touch with his database and pushing his team in to grow through this market. And then on Friday, Colin is going to hop on and we'll be interviewing Colin about the winning mindset, talking about how to keep a winning mindset through times that can be challenging or times that can be more difficult. Does that answer your question, Nikki? Cool. So Anna's going to take some notes here. I'll go through the questions that we currently have. Just drop something in the chat box if you guys want to add something, or if you think that you have, or if you know of something that you're doing that can add value to us as well as all of YP Canada. And the questions that I was going to go through, basically just talking about, so tell us about our business. I was going to ask who someone is, what is your business, what's the level of your business, how long you've been in business, how many units, what's your GCI, do you have a team or not, and then are you in growth mode or are you in stabilization mode? I know a lot of realtors will focus on growing and then they get to a point where they just kind of stabilize. They're like, oh, I'm comfortable. And that usually is when the decline starts. So I'm assuming that most people are going to be in growth mode. And that's going to lead into my next question on what are you doing to grow and what are you doing to insulate your business through the shift. Once we get through that, we're going to talk about the top lead gen sources that your business uses. I know Andre has a course that he teaches on lead gen levers. I'm sure you guys have heard about the lead gen levers and focusing on your top 3 to 5 lead gen levers. So we're going to dive into each lead gen lever that these individuals are using, what they were using before, and if it's the same or if they're changing moving forward. Then I'm going to ask about what activities are you doing that are different in the shift. So what is it that you did before we had this new world that we're now a part of, and what are you doing now to make sure that that your world doesn't change when we come out of it, and make sure that if it does, it's in a positive way. We're going to talk about what our leaders are doing during the shift and what you're doing for leadership, how you're affecting your team, how you're impacting your office, what you're doing in your brokerage, and what we can add value to through the YP Canada network. I love the question. What will change during the shift that won't change back? All right. So we can definitely, Kelly, if you want to just write down where you think that would be inserted when I go through these, I'm more than happy to add as many questions as we see fit. There's a huge talk around cutting expenses right now. I know that I think it was Cody Gibson went on and talked about it, and then I think he did a special with Kristen Cole as well on what expenses you're able to cut. With Command, I know we're able to dial back a lot of our current expenses. I've seen a lot of people, I think Sean actually mentioned that you got rid of Agent Locator. They gave you 3 months for free, and even after that, you're going to get rid of it. So now that Command is here, it gives us the opportunity to double down on our lead gen and double down on our database. I've been doing these coffee dates, and I think I did like 12 over the weekend. So I have a whole slew of them recorded that I can start kind of dropping out. And instead of dropping 1 a day, I'm going to start dropping 2 a day, because I've literally been on these calls, and I go from half an hour or an hour back to back to back to back. Whereas normally you're driving in and out of different areas. It's just wasting so much time on driving. So how can you take the virtual meetings and turn that into an increased business opportunity? What opportunities do you see in the shift? Obviously, that's going to be self-explanatory. What are you doubling down on your business, lead generation activities, and so on? And what kind of conversations are you having with current clients, past clients, and future clients? And how are you updating your database to make sure that you have all the information necessary? I'm also going to be putting in, I'll drop a script that is from 7 Levels of Communication. I've sent it out to a number of people through these coffee dates. Basically, it's a way to have your database call you. Right now, we're seeing pickup rates are over double what they have been, and people are staying on the calls longer. So that's some information that Gilles was sharing on the tech call on Thursday, is that people are here, they want to talk, they want to hear from you. And if you haven't called them, or if you did and you missed them, there's a great email that I can share with you guys that I wouldn't recommend sending to more than like 15 to 20 people a day, because your phone will just blow up and you'll have your clients calling you nonstop. And so it's a really good opportunity for you to fill in Command, get our Command scores higher. The statistics are showing that on average, people are 3 to 4 times their business when they have an 80% Command score or higher. So when you're looking at year over year, we've had enough of Command to show that it is actually working, and those that are diving into it and getting their database scores up are seeing a 3 to 4 times return on their business. So Josh just shared he's got 56 leads in 3 days from 1 ad on Command. Pretty impressive, pretty incredible that 56 potential clients in this market in 3 days using Command. And I think that Josh that's a topic that we'll be leading to you on at some point in time to talk about how you're using Facebook ads to increase your business. So those are the questions that I've got, and I think that'll probably burn through a half an hour, 20 minutes at least, when I'm having these conversations with leadership. Are those questions valuable? Would you guys like me to cut any out? Would you like me to add any in? And who would you like to hear from? Do you want to keep it just our YP leadership, or do you want to open it up to outside individuals? And maybe we go with YP leadership, and maybe we just carry this through after the shift too. Maybe this is an ongoing KWYP Canada webinar that we keep going for the next 6 months, year, who knows? Infinite, unlimited, right? What are you guys' thoughts? If I get some feedback, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Listen, I love the idea. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ian.
So I love the idea of talking to KWYP leadership. It gives you an idea of what people are actually doing, boots on the ground in our local markets that have a lot more in common than moving outside. If we were to start there, I think that would be a great idea.
Perfect. That was kind of what I was leading towards as well. Andre, I think you were going to say something.
I was going to basically say the same thing. Sticking within our local market, sticking within who we have before going stateside or worrying about going bigger necessarily. I think there's a lot of value. There's 26, 27 people on the call, and there's more than enough within our leadership group right now.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there's currently 4 KWYP Canada chapters, and there's 10 leadership positions in each. So there's 40 people we can start with. And I'm currently in talks with 3 additional chapter launches. So we're looking at launching in 3 different areas across Canada. My goal is to have 10 chapters across Canada by the end of the year. So that would potentially be 100 leadership position. If we do it 3 times a week, that's basically a year right there. If we just stick to entirely just leadership. And obviously, if I was to interview Andre on Wednesday and then look at his business 12 months from now, it's probably going to be different. And there's probably an opportunity to just literally go through and keep these things ongoing, even beyond the shifting market. I think we have some leadership and some that are open to YP. So I think the best move for us with this would be open to all of KWYP for the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 to 9. And if we see that we're getting a ton of value out of it and you guys want to do these, I mean, I know that KWYP presidents across all of KW meet once a month. So I think the first or second Tuesday for an hour, we do a webinar like this and we talk about a couple of leadership opportunities and then go into a lesson and then open question and answer. So we can certainly put that in place. Maybe Anna, you can note that down and we'll put that in place for the YP leadership members, and we'll do like a leadership call once a month, maybe for an hour instead, and we can put that into place as well. So we'll stick to YP leadership alone. Can you guys, what would be the easiest way for us to, I don't know how to use these things that well. So what's the easiest way for you guys to sign up? I think Kelly had a program or something that you can pick different dates or different topics.
Yeah, the program actually is for everyone to give their availability, what days work for them. So you can create, shifts or slots that you want to do all of these on and the timing, and then people can sign up for those shifts so that it creates a schedule for the time that you're going to do it for.
What's that program called again? I think you shared it with Anna already.
It's GetSling, SLING.com.
So Anna, if you can maybe work on that, we'll work on that this morning, and then that way we'll have it released at least. We'll go week by week. If we can stay even 10 days ahead of it, we'll talk. Like this week, we're going to have Andre, we'll have Colin, and then next week we're going to need a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well. So we'll release that by end of day today. You guys can start kind of signing up. Just put your name in, put the topic you want to discuss, and it's okay if we duplicate. I mean, if we double down on scripts, for instance, I'm sure that everyone's going to have different scripts they're using, so it's not a bad thing to do that. We'll space them out a little bit, but definitely an opportunity for us to block in that way. Does anyone else have any questions around the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or any comments on how we can make this? Josh, feel free to talk out loud. Do you want to say something? No, just talk or type. Okay, cool. Okay, guys. So yeah, that's really the idea, the concept. All I wanted to do is get you guys on here, make sure you guys were aware of what we're doing. We will release that. You guys are who we look to in our chapters, not just the presidents, but all of you to grow KWYP for feedback. I know we had that big event in Vaughan back in January, I think it was, and we've actually kept that going with local realtors, and we've kind of opened it up beyond KWYP. We want to do something that's exclusive for YP as well. So we want to keep these things exclusive to our KWYP members and adding value to you guys. So we will even, and maybe Anna, you can find a way to create a document or a drive where we can actually go in and we can request if you want to see something specific. And then I also want to kind of get an idea, like this is an opportunity for all of us to not only learn about what we're going to be doing through the shift and beyond. We can also, I mean, you guys tell us, what do you want in KWYP? What do you want in Canada that we can provide more value to your businesses, both in the shift and out of the shift.
So my question is there a way to, I don't know what the expense of KWYP is, but we've got a ton of young agents that have no income coming in right now and are renting or have mortgages and family and everything else, and they're worried about every expense and are being told to cut back expenses. So for us to recruit in this with an added fee, is there a way that we can put fees on hold for a little while, add this huge value, get them hooked, and then have their businesses grow when this all shifts around so that they can continue on, and that would help grow KWYP as well?
Great question. And there is a group of 6 of us that Katie and Johnny have put together that we discuss items such as that for KWYP. What I have gotten is, what I don't have yet is exactly what's going to happen. Although there is a talk about whether we put memberships on pause, or if there's a discount, or if there's an added value, what that looks like. We're looking at all opportunities, but there's definitely going to be news with the intergroup sometime this week on what we're going to do. The goal would be to obviously pour back in and help. I don't know, those of you that are MAPS coaches or MAPS clients, Gary actually had an urgent call last week while on MAPS coaches, and they cut the MAPS coaching cost in half. So basically all profit that MAPS coaching gets not going back to the MAPS coaches is gone. So it's $500 instead of $1,000 for MAPS. And I think they did that for 2 months. And so basically Gary just said, yeah, we're not going to take any money from this at all. It's just going to be for the coaches. So I think there's going to be something like that for YP as well. I don't know what it's going to be, whether it's going to be a cost cutting or value add, or I'm not sure what it is, but it's going to be something around expenses. So there is something that they're talking about. I just don't have any more information. And as soon as I do, then the presidents will obviously be the first to hear, and they can pass that off to you guys as well, to make sure that we kind of give as much value as possible. The other thing I will say is, a lot of people say, well, in Canada, we haven't gotten our t-shirts. We haven't gotten this KWYP swag. So you guys do have a link when you sign up to go and get your t-shirt, but the shipping is like $50 and it makes no sense. So what I've done is I've been harassing Johnny and Katie. They're actually going to send me a large box of t-shirts, and I'm going to give them to the presidents, and then you guys will be able to get them from your presidents directly. So something that I asked Anna to do last week was talk to the director of ops of each of the chapters, and for you guys to go around and start like sending what your shirt size is, and asking your whole leadership or your whole chapter what their shirt size is, so that we can start getting you guys the proper amounts. Until I get at least a good enough number, I mean, we have almost 150 members across Canada. Until I get at least 100 of those sizes, I'm just shooting in the dark, and I don't want to order a bunch of wrong sizes or run out of mediums or smalls too quickly if we need more of those. So that is something that you guys can do right away, is get in touch with your director of ops, share your shirt size. Director of ops will put that document together and send it off to me. Also reach out to 2 or 3 people each that you know of that are in KWYP that want to get a t-shirt and whatnot. And I'm going to get as much swag as I can. I don't know what's left, but I'm going to get them to basically send me out a big shipment, and I'll get it off to the presidents as soon as we're allowed going outside.
Question. I know that we're kind of talking about what's going to be coming down to give the discount, or however that's going to look like. But when we talk about this call here, that's not costing us money to do. So I think if we reach out and say YP eligible members are invited into that 3-day weekly, that's a way that we can still show value, use a recruitment tool, and help those people who really do need, because I'm in conversations with at least 7 different people in my market center who are just getting their career started, and getting an opportunity to be part of something like this could help them literally survive this, that they've never, very few of us have had an opportunity to go through a market like we're heading into. And it could be still a good recruitment tool just from that way that could help us in providing value and getting that recruitment out.
So I'm a high D and I, and my I is screaming, include everyone, come on in. And then my D is like, well, I have people that want to be exclusive. So how do we do that? Maybe we can kind of take a poll or see what you guys think, but I think there's a way that we can say, we're going to give you a 1 or 2, maybe we have a password or a login or something that you need to do to get into this Zoom, and maybe we change it every week or something. And we can basically say, hey, you know what? Go on here. Here's the link. Here's the code. you get to go in and access 1 or 2 or whatever it is, see value. I want to see what KWYP is going to do first, because if they say that, oh, memberships are totally free, then maybe that's an opportunity to recruit more people to KWYP while it's free. If they decide to leave after because it's not free anymore and they want to get out, so be it. I mean, obviously we didn't provide enough value, but if there's a way for us to get people in the door saying, you know what, this is a shifting market. We do like a 1 or 2 or 3 months where it's free completely, and people can join in. I think it's, what is it, $35 a month or something like that, US for platinum. So it's not a huge cost. We just also got to keep in mind that all the money that we do get from memberships goes back to KWYP. So, I mean, talking about working through deals with Audible, I know a lot of you guys want to know where the book club's at. There's an issue right now with Audible not joining into the Keller Williams marketplace. And because they're not a part of our preferred vendors, they basically said, okay, well, we're kiboshing it until further notice. But I know that KWRI is actually working with Audible directly to see what they can do, not only just for YP, but also for all of Keller Williams, anyone who's in luxury or anyone who's in MAPS coaching or whatever, and give certain credits and certain books for that too. So that kind of stuff is possible. Is anyone absolutely not totally against doing something for bringing people in? My biggest thing here would be the one big goal for KWYP Canada is actually to bring new KW members to KW through YP. My big vision was how can we utilize KWYP to add value to those around, also help you guys build your downline, and to just continue to give back to the point where other agents from outside of companies are joining KW because they want to be a part of KWYP. So I would love to be able to introduce people to it, but I also don't want to devalue the membership that you guys obviously are paying for. I want to make sure that you're getting value out of that. It's in my mind, it's fairly inexpensive for what you get, but a lot of times people aren't tapping into all the different resources that KWYP has to offer. So I know that there's a ton that we do. We do monthly investment seminars. We do the different webinars that talk about all the different systems and models, the MREA, MREI, all of that was built into a program, and that was through webinars. There's a lot of stuff that people aren't really tapping into. I know we had David Green on the first investment webinar. We had 20 people on that. Guy runs the largest investment podcast in the world, and we have over 1,000 YP members. Only 20 people tapped into it. So there's a ton of value that isn't being used, and I think that's a matter of just understanding where you can go to find that stuff. But is anybody totally 100% against us opening this up, or at least working through something that says, hey, you know what, we'll do a little login code, or you put in whatever it is to get access, and all the YP members get access to it, and then you guys make the decision if you want to share that with a recruit, and you guys will govern, hey, you know what, you get 1 or you get 2, and then after that you have to join YP, or maybe it's free. If we do find the membership drops, it is free, and then we just push to get signups, and all of a sudden we have an increase in signups.
Here's an idea. I love what you said about it, what everybody said. I think this kind of joins them together. Instead of having a code that creates more complexity, what we could do is maybe for the next 2 weeks or whatnot, say, hey, we're doing this exclusively for YP members. It's a shift class or a webinar. Anybody who's eligible is able to join these webinars for the next 2 weeks or whatever, after which it's going to be exclusively for YP members, but we're opening it up for the next 2 weeks because people are freaking out. If we wait 2-3 more weeks or a month, I don't know if it's going to get worse or better. Hopefully the situation is better. But right now, I say we can strike the iron while it's hot, get a lot of people joining these conversations and seeing what we're doing and what you guys are doing. And then we just shut the door, and then you can join or not, or whatever they want to do. This might be one way of making it more easily implemented.
I like the idea for sure. And I think again, it really comes down to what KWYP is going to do at an RI level, because if they make it completely free, then absolutely. What I don't want to see is brand new agents that are just entering the business that have no income whatsoever. And then all of a sudden they go and buy a 1-year membership and they're paying for membership in the shift. I mean, Gary did talk about double down on training and education. So doing something like this is definitely training and education, and you're going to hear from the top of our YP members, and we are tomorrow's leaders. That's the idea of KWYP. So to hear from that, I think there's massive value in that. So it's kind of a balance between, do we want to offer it for free or not? So I definitely appreciate the feedback. I think it's going to come down to what KWRI does, but I think I'm not against doing the first couple of weeks where it's open to everyone. We are going to have to lean heavily on each and every one of you invite those people you've been talking to who have, I mean, Josh mentioned he's got 6 or 7 people that are looking to join out Toronto East. So who are those people, and can you, like, will they jump in? If they jump in and they get massive value and they see this as one thing that we're doing as KWYP initiative, they join right away. All of a sudden we're increasing our memberships. And I know that each of you guys have pretty big lofty goals on members that you want to get to. So let's keep inviting and pushing it. I agree. Keep people positive and momentum going.
Yeah, Ian Davies from Hamilton. Well, I was on the webinar with John Maxwell yesterday, and one of the things that he said right off the hop is that when you decide that you're going to be a leader, you give up your right to put yourself first. If we're going to be a leader through this shift, putting a barrier up between the information and the people that need it isn't leadership. I would get it out there. Get the value out there. When times are better, we can start talking about what that's worth at that point. But for now, let's get our constituents, the people we're responsible for, let's push them through. And we're responsible for everybody going forward. Like it's not just YP. It's not. We have the ability. There's enough of a skill set on this call to insulate people's education through June. Like it's there. I think that if you really want to show people what we're about and that we're willing to go to bat for people, then yeah, make it free. Open it up to whomever wants the information.
Good with it.
I second that.
I will ask that everyone wears a nice Hawaiian shirt so we can pretend it's summer.
So we're doing themes for these calls now?
Hawaiian Day is like
would have been nice to know.
I just wanted to throw it out there and be like, hey, you know what? I'm not going to let this bring me down.
Dylan, I agree with Ian as well. Ian, I think that's a great point. And that was John Maxwell did share that yesterday on the call as well. Dylan, I don't see what difference it makes at this point in time. We're all in this pain together. We're all in the struggle together. It's only going to make us look better the more people that we include.
I'm good with it. I mean, I'm good with going with that. So I have 3 minutes left of your time, and I just wanted to rhyme off a couple of things that are happening that you guys can kind of tap into that I already am. And if you guys have something else, any webinars, whatever that you'd like to share, feel free to. So John Maxwell is doing a 3-day webinar, 3-day live series on Facebook Live, noon to 1. Basically started yesterday, I think, and then goes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then he's doing questions and answers on Wednesday on leadership and how you can become a better leader. So if you want to check that out, shoot me a message or shoot Anna a message, and we can share the Facebook Live, the Facebook tab there for you. There's also Jay Cermak in Florida. He's one of the top tech guys in the company. He's actually left his business completely to focus entirely on tech. Every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, he's going into command. Every Monday, he's talking about smart plans. Every Tuesday, it's going to be marketing. And every Wednesday, it's going to be on Facebook ads and Facebook. Feel free to jump in on those. James Shaw has 2 times a day that he's talking about. He's basically breaking down the shift book, talking about pages, talking about everything specifically that you guys are going to want to know about what happens in a shift. He does it, I think, at 8 o'clock and at noon. I know a number of people that are tapping into that. It's 15, 20 minutes each morning. Does anyone else have anything that we can share out to our YP members and be kind of pushing this value? Cool. Well, I'll keep sharing those. I appreciate all you guys hopping on here. It's going to fly by. These half an hours are going to fly by. We're already at 28 minutes. So just wanted to hop on with you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you for what you've done for KWYP and growing this incredible opportunity we have here. I will say if we keep this going year round, once I can go outside, I will be traveling again. So I'm going to need you guys to step up and do the interviews with leadership members. However, this is the opportunity for us to pour into each other, give back, and ask questions as needed. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for hopping on this morning. Wednesday morning, 8:30 sharp, we will have Andre on talking about database and scripts. And then again, Friday we'll have Colin. And then make sure you jump on and sign up. We'll send an email out, or we'll send out a message, whatever that may be. Sign up for something you want to teach and a day you want to teach it, and we'll get you in either a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, 8:30 to 9. So thank you guys so much for coming out, and looking forward to see you guys Wednesday morning at 8:30. Have an amazing day.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Dylan.
guys.
Thanks, everyone.